Hello there, my name is Seth from Salt Lake Manor, and today I'm going to explain to you the Salt Lake Manor building tools. And this pack is really simple. You may find 4 different blueprints for the 4 different purposes, which I believe the most outstanding one is the building generator. But before that, I'm going to explain the other blueprints and we'll build up to it. First blueprint I'm going to explain is the floor plan blueprint. So the floor plan blueprint will let you set or build a floor plan which later will be used in the building generator. And this blueprint has a specific functionality. Here we have a ground floor plan, which you can see some meshes were set up inside the blueprint. No floors, no ceilings. But the thing is, if we were to select every other static mesh component here, you may notice that not all the static meshes were selected in the scene. And the reason for that is, there's a reason. The reason is to speed up the production or speeding up the process of building a mirrored floor, let's say. In this instance, you can see that I have selected all of my meshes, and there's a mirror point, which is a scene component inside the blueprint. And this mirror point is basically the origin we're going to be referencing to mirror the static meshes that we put here. And if I were to drag and move this mirror point, you can see that these other static meshes are referencing this point as the origin and mirroring the meshes we set up here in the one corner. We can of course switch we can of course enable or disable the mirroring here. Mirror along X or mirror along Y axes if you were to build some non-homogenic floor plans, let's say. I'm going to get it back in the middle. And let's see which you might have noticed one thing, that while we are mirroring all of these meshes in the corner, this one mesh is not mirrored in any way. And the reason for that is how the blueprint works actually. See, if we wanted to mirror this mesh, we would have to tag it mirror. You see? And this way the blueprint gets the data with the tag, gets the static mesh components with the tag and mirrors them. So if you were to put something distinct in the corner, let's say in one corner of the building that you didn't wanted to be mirrored on the other axes, you could just remove the mirror tag, and there you go. Every other mesh component we have has this mirror tag. Alright, this was the first blueprint. The second one is the tiling blueprint, which is here. You can see it seems like a simple wall, which is not really useful in this instance, but if we were to, let's say, set up a long sidewalk, like a pavement of sorts, you might want to put every pavement single-handedly one by one. But in this simple tile tool, you can just add the dimensions you want to replicate the mesh from. Let's say this 0, nothing is replicated, and 1, is our original mesh by itself. But if we were to add 2, let's duplicate. Let's say 20. Oh, there's a whole new payment here, let's say. Imagine it as a payment at least. Alright, the next blueprint is really simple. It's just a simple spline blueprint where you can just set up the spline you want to use as a spline mesh and set its material and just select the forward axis wherever it is. You don't need to rotate it in a custom modeling tool such as Blender or something. You can just switch the forward axis if need be, and then just build your splines. For example, if you want to make a pipeline or something, this tool is going to be improved in the future. It is really simple and bare bones for now. Sorry about that. And the last and the main tool I'm going to be showing you is the building generator tool. It's not really a building generator. It's not building anything from nothing. It just uses the floor plans that I've shown you earlier and replicates them along an axis with the inputs we will be using. For example, in this instance, I have here a building floor plan. Let's say, what was it? Building 2. Yep. I have 3 different building floor plans here. One is for the top floor, one is for the floor between the top and bottom, and the other one is the bottom floor, which you can edit or improve on it later on. And the building generator, if you were to, let's say, drag and drop it to our level, there's nothing at first, but there's this struct variable we can use for floor plans. Let's say 3 or 4 different floors. I will be using building 2 blueprints. Let's say the bottom floor is going to be this, and it's going to end in floor 2, and the floor height is where we give the input to the blueprint how tall the floor plan is. So it's flexible if you have different sizes of floors you want to add. In this instance, it's 300, and there you go. But we want to add more floors here. Say floor plan 1, and as you can see, blueprint designates the 3rd floor as the start of the building floor plan 1 automatically, because the first index on the floor plans is already set to floor 2. Alright, let's go with floor end is 10, and the floor height is 300. Whoops, and voila, building is set up nicely. But we want the top floor also added here. Or before the top floor, we can just add the ground floor again, just to show the variations we can use this blueprint with. We can end it in 10, 11, and let's say 15. And the height is 300. What would happen if I were to change the floor height in the previous instance? It would just act as if the floor was taller, and it just moves the next indices of the floor accordingly, which we will see in a minute. And the top floor is going to be this floor plan, which I'm going to just say 18. 300. So there you have it. You can just create any number of floors with this building. I have to admit that this blueprint will have to be improved on in the future with the feedback, hopefully. But there you go. We can just let's say floor 1 is going to be 20, and this 2 is going to be 25, and this one is going to be 30. And there you go. You can also use it for other buildings as well. 15 and 11, or let's say 14. Which you might notice here, the ground floor is a different height than the other floor plans, which I showed here, 450. It's because we set it up. There's the first floor, like the ground floor would be different height in some building plans. In this case, if we were to switch it back to 300, you can see the Z fighting and intersections all there. So just take a look at your floor plan blueprint and decide what height it should be. We have another construction building here using another floor plan, just the one, which you will be able to see in the product, in the pack you just downloaded. Let's see, there's 50. How about that? Skyscrapers. Let's just keep it at 10. Like 15, I guess. So that's about it with the building generators. Really simple tool, and I hope it's useful to you. I am planning on for a long-term support on this pack with the feedback from the community. So please feel free to join our Discord and give your feedback. We might just add it. Alright, thanks. Have a good one. In the pack, only the blueprints and the simple construction floor plan is present, and these building meshes are for an upcoming project, which you can find in the future. But this pack is only for the blueprints, just to be clear.